Mom, forgot to tell you I won't be home for dinner tonight. Got my history final tomorrow, so I'll grab a hamburger someplace. See you later. Just when I was going to fix one of his favorite meals tonight. Well, I guess I can save it till tomorrow. Let's see.
Hi.
Hey, what on earth are you doing here?
Was that any way to greet company? Aren't you going to ask me in?
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on in. I wasn't expecting to see you this evening. This is a pleasant surprise.
If you wouldn't leave your office in the middle of the afternoon.
I did no such thing. I didn't leave till after 5.
I know. I called you 10 after and just missed you.
Now, what is so important that it merits a special coming over here today?
Isn't it enough that I wanted to see you?
Yes, that's more than enough.
But there is something else.
What is it? Nothing's wrong, I hope.
Oh, no, on the contrary. Something that was wrong was made right, and I wanted to thank you for it. And tell you, I think you're a very special person, and I like you a lot.
I'm coming already, jeez.
Surprise!
Stacy, yes.
I had just about decided that either A, you weren't home and that my timing was bad, or that B, you were here and just didn't want to talk to me.
No, I was taking a shower and I didn't hear the bell.
Oh, you're going somewhere?
No, I was just jogging. That's why I was going to take a shower. Sweat.
Then you're not going out. Wonderful.
What brings you to this part of town?
Nothing in particular. I was just on my way home from work and thought I'd stop by and say hello. You don't mind, do you?
No.
Well, that's great.
Dave, thank you. What a nice thing to say.
Well, I'm the one who should be thanking you.
But why? What's this all about?
Well, Stacy came by the clinic to see me this afternoon.
Oh, did she?
And she told me about the little talk you had the other day.
Well, I told you I was going to talk to her.
And I told you it wasn't going to do any good.
You don't give your daughter enough credit.
Yeah, she'd probably agree with you there.
Stacy is a very sensible young lady, Dave, besides which she really wants your happiness.
Not if that happiness involves a woman other than her mother. At least that's what she led me to believe several days ago.
I think she had reasons for that attitude. Here, put this in the refrigerator for me, will you?
Sure.
Thanks.
I mean, reasons other than her own egocentricities, you mean?
Now, come on, Dave, that's not fair. Her mother still has a very special place in her heart.
Yes, but Kate's been dead for almost a year now, Terry.
And nobody can ever fill the void that her death has left. Not in your life and not in Stacy's. But when she sees you and me together, well, it's bound to be her gut reaction to assume that I'm trying to take her mother's place.
Especially when she's operating on a purely emotional level, which she admitted that she is.
And trying to resist change, which is a very human thing to do. Consciously or unconsciously, we're all guilty of it.
I wonder why that is. Fear of the unknown, I suppose.
And in this case, Stacy is doubly torn. Between a loyalty to the past and, well, a hope for the future.
It's a tough one for a lot of people to deal with.
Yeah. It's even harder for a young person to deal with.
Yeah, when you think of it, it's really surprising that she came around as quickly as she did.
Yes, it is. Wait a minute. Dave, you don't suppose Stacy wouldn't be pretending, would she? I mean, hiding her real feelings about our relationship and just saying what she knows you want to hear in order to keep peace.
No, Terry, I don't think so. Now, if she was trying to pull something over on me, I'd pick up on it. I've known her too long to be taken in that easily. Now, whatever you said to her really worked. I mean, her whole attitude has changed.
Well, I hope so. Listen, I think that you deserve a very special reward for coming all the way over here just to tell me this news.
I agree. I'm going to take you out to dinner. That will be my reward.
Well, I thought I'd ask you to stay here for dinner.
Well, you've been working all day. Wouldn't you rather go out?
Any other time, I would love to, but I've got a commitment here this evening. I promised Ben and Lori that I'd babysit for them. So why don't you stay here? And then after dinner, we can watch a movie on television or something.
Well, okay, but on one condition.
What's that?
That you let me help.
You're on. You can help with the salad.
All right.
Here is the knife. You can cut up those apples and the celery for the Waldorf salad.
So Ben are going, well, where are they going tonight?
The Old Orchard Country Club, to a dinner dance.
The Old Orchard? Well, they're not members there, are they?
No, they're going as guests of Brian Graham.
Brian Graham, huh?
Yeah. You know, I guess Ben has been spending a lot of time with Brian lately, according to Lori.
Yes. Much more than he should, if you ask me.
Dave?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was totally uncalled for. Look, how much of this celery do you want chopped up?
Well, that looks better. As a matter of fact, you look, kind of handsome, if you don't mind my saying so.
Thanks.
Aren't you gonna have some coffee?
No, I don't think that I will.
Well, that's not very polite, letting a guest drink coffee all by herself.
Well, I just don't feel like having anything right now.
Look, if you have plans for this evening, just say so.
I don't have any plans for tonight.
Well, I haven't either. So why don't we do something together? How about a movie? How does that sound?
I'm not much of a moviegoer.
Oh, I've got it. We can go someplace and play miniature golf. Or we could go bowling. Well, no, why don't we just go someplace for a drive and pick up a hamburger on the way back?
Stacy, slow down a little bit. I really don't feel like doing much of anything tonight, okay?
Why not? Is there something wrong?
What would make you think there's something wrong?
I don't know. It's just that ever since I've been here, you've been kind of, I mean, it's not like I came over here to try to pick you up or something.
Oh, I'm sure you didn't. It's just that I have a real heavy day tomorrow.
Why? What's going on?
Well, I'm stopping off at the museum and dropping off $1.2 million for starters.
What?
That is how much I bid on the Bible.
But my father was the legal owner of that Bible before the auction. What does the museum have to do with
And the
it?
museum was designated to act as agent for the transaction.
But to pay for a Bible that doesn't even exist? Well, that's ridiculous. Russ, no court of law would hold you to that.
Maybe, but under the circumstances, I feel obligated to pay it.
You know, you really are something else. I wonder how many other people would take that attitude.
I don't know. And I don't see that it really makes so much difference either.
You know, Russ, I'd like to do something for you, okay?
What?
Don't ask any questions. Just say yes. Please?
So Charles is now the proud owner of a seat on the board of directors at Carpenter Shipping.
If there were anything that I could do to avoid it, I would. Believe me.
Well, but after all, he did force your hand.
He threatened to tell Courtney about the contract that we had, giving him my seat on the board if he helped me to get you two together.
Well, considering that, I can understand your reluctance.
But if that little bit of blackmail didn't work, dear brother Charles was going to get a statement from a private investigator that stated that he, the private investigator, had given me written proof of your physical impairment 1 week before the wedding.
What?
Oh, a forgery, of course.
Oh, Preston. The thought of having to deal with your brother as one of the board of directors of Carpenter Shipping is...
That's not a pleasant prospect, I know. But you never can tell. Something might happen to prevent it.
Right. Such as what?
Well, I don't know. But like Daddy would say, where there's life, there's hope. What about your future plans?
What do you mean?
Well, now that Courtly has made her decisions, you'll be leaving Kingsley and returning to Lake Forest, huh?
Certainly not. At least not right away. As I understand it, I have 30 days within which to contest the annulment.
Well, certainly you're not going to contest it.
I haven't made that decision yet, Preston. But yes, it's more than likely that I will.
Hamburger upside down pie. I never heard of it.
It's a recipe I made up a million years ago when the kids were small. As a matter of fact, it's still one of Peter's favorite recipes.
It's too bad he's not here. But Peter's bad luck is my good fortune.
Dave, getting back to what you were saying about Ben.
I think I've already said more than I should about that.
You're concerned about the influence that Brian's having on him.
Look, it may be my own personal prejudice that's influencing me. It's just that Ben seems more restless and dissatisfied with the clinic now that Brian's around.
Is that your nice way of saying that Ben is still neglecting his responsibilities at the clinic?
No, Terry. Your son-in-law is the best doctor that anybody could hope to work with.
Then what is the problem?
It's just that, well, with all of his diagnostic and medical skills, there's something missing. An empathy, a compassion that used to be one of his most admirable qualities. And with the exception of a few cases, I just don't see it anymore.
Well, Dave, you're closer to the situation than I am. Do you think it'd be better if Ben went somewhere else?
I honestly don't know, Terry. But if his attitude doesn't change, our patients would be better if he went someplace else.
I'm in here, honey.
Hi, we're here. We got the little slugger with us.
Oh, Laura, you look beautiful.
Hi, Dave. Oh,
buddy.
look at this. Hi, Dave. Look at this. Look at this little slugger hat. Can you stand it? Oh,
Grandma.
God,
Go, Grandma.
Grandma.
Hi, sweetheart.
He's a sleepy little sweetheart. I'm afraid he didn't get a nap today.
Oh, poor baby. Did he have his dinner?
Yeah, he's all ready for bed. In fact, say goodnight to Daddy. Come on, say goodnight to Daddy.
Good night, son.
Go get
Good
your
night.
teddy bear, okay? Mwah.
Good night.
Oh, he's such a good boy. Oh, he's such a good boy.
Oh, I've got to be sure and put that blanket on his bed. I washed it this morning, but I think
Oh,
it's still in the
good.
dryer.
Okay. Oh,
So, Terry tells me you're going to the old orchard tonight. Dinner dance?
Yeah, that's right.
You should have a good time.
Dave,
Yeah?
I'm glad we have this time alone because I need to talk to you. There's something we need to get straight.
What's on your mind, Ben?
Your attitude about Brian Graham and the work he's doing at the Bedford Institute?
Oh, I take it he told you about the little chat we had yesterday.
Yes, he did, and in my opinion, what you said, you were way out of line.
We're both entitled to our own opinions, Ben. And I happen to think there's a great deal of unnecessary surgery going on at the Bedford Institute by Brian and his cohorts.
Well, if your opinion, Dave, was based on fact rather than prejudice, I think you'd change your mind. Now, contrary to what you may believe, we don't have a corner on truth and necessity at the Chesterfield Free Clinic. They do a great deal of good work out at the Bedford Institute in restoring people's self-image and rehabilitating lives. Brian was telling me just the other day about a child who was born with a cleft palate. And because of reconstructive surgery now, he can lead a normal, healthy life.
Well, I'm sure there are individual cases like that. And maybe I did get carried away in the heat of the moment.
Yes, you did, to the point that I think you owe Brian an apology.
If I'm prejudiced, Ben, it isn't against the field of plastic surgery. It's against the surgeons and physicians who allow themselves to be lured away from where they're needed most by the promise of greater rewards, financial or otherwise.
Now, wait a minute. People in the medical field have the same rights as anyone else. Doctors have the same right to make a career decision that will make them happy and give them some sort of satisfaction in what they're doing. And that includes Brian as well as you and me.
You think I get complete happiness and satisfaction from working down at that clinic? Well, don't kid yourself. I have to deal with the same complaints and face the same frustrations that you do.
Well, that's your decision to stay there. If you want to leave, leave.
You know, I just might do that. Except I happen to know that it's unrealistic to think that I can find any kind of a job that won't have those frustrations and problems.
I know that.
Do you? I haven't seen much evidence of it lately.
Why? Because I'm looking around for another job?
No, because you're looking for a job that's perfect. One that's going to make you happy 100% of the time. That's the difference between you and me.
No. You're down at the clinic. because you feel that you've been called to be down there. And that's the big difference between us, because I no longer feel like I've been called.
Well, maybe you'd feel that way if you'd open your heart and your mind to it.
So if he wakes up, you just give him a little water. I don't think he will, though.
Can you believe that child is asleep already?
Good. We really need to get going.
Oh, no, wait. I thought we would visit for a little while.
No, we have to meet Brian at 7, and we have at least a half-hour drive ahead of us, so if you'll excuse us. Good night, Terry.
Good night.
Good night, Dave.
Good night, Lori.
Come on.
Bye.
You both look great.
Thanks.
Have a
Thank you.
good time.
You will.
Bye-bye. Ben was sure in a hurry to get out of here. I think Lori wanted to stay for a while.
Yeah, I guess.
Dave, did you and Ben have an argument while we were putting Scotty to bed?
Nothing important. If you don't mind, could we eat now? I'm getting kind of hungry.
Favor? What kind of favor? Like what?
Let me go to my father and talk to him about the unfairness of this whole thing.
Oh.
You're having to pay for a Bible that doesn't even exist? If he knew the situation, where that money was coming from, he would not want you to pay for it. I know he wouldn't.
Look, Stacy, the reason that I purchased that Bible anonymously in the first place was because I didn't want everybody to know that I had all that money. I led on to you because you interviewed me after my father died. I just figured you'd catch on sooner or later, but I don't want any of that made public.
But it won't be. If I tell him how you feel about it, he won't say anything to anyone. He'll keep your secret, I can promise you that.
Yeah, but you're forgetting one thing. You know, the reason that your dad put that Bible on the auction block in the first place was so that he could get money for the clinic. I mean, with the Bible gone, the fact still remains that your dad and the clinic still need the money.
But if he knew that your paying for that Bible would eat up almost everything your father left to you, he would not accept the money under those circumstances.
But you're missing the point. I owe a legitimate debt. And the fact that that money is tainted anyway is probably better off being lost.
Russ, that is ridiculous.
You think so?
By that kind of logic, you'd be putting a curse on the clinic by passing tainted money on to them. Now, does that make sense?
Well, so I should hang on to all that curse for myself then, huh?
Look, there's no point in arguing about this. But once my father knows the situation, he's not going to hold you to that debt. So won't you reconsider?
Well, there is more profit to be made from a better investment than an old Bible turned to ashes.
Russ, you've done so much for me. So much that I can never repay you for. Won't you let me do this one thing for you, please? I really would consider it a favor.
Sure. I guess if you really want to do that, you can talk to your dad. But if he says no, then the answer is no. No arguments. Agreed?
Yes. Oh, yes. I won't make any arguments. I promise.
You're telling me that you intend to contest Courtney's annulment action?
What have I got to lose, Preston?
What have you got to lose? A great deal, I should think.
Other than my pride.
I'm thinking about your pride. Vaughn, you've got to realize that if something like this goes into a courtroom, everything, and I mean everything, is going to come out and be aired publicly.
By everything, of course, you're referring to my impotence. You don't have to be so delicate in that matter anymore, Preston.
Certainly I was thinking about that, yes. I mean, with this out in the open, Vaughn, people are going to talk about you. They're going to laugh. They'll snicker behind your back.
Preston, the people in Kingsley that matter to me know the facts. As far as those other people are concerned, well, I can't be bothered with it.
But, young man, it's not just the people here in Kingsley. This may well get... No, this is certain to get back to all of your friends and associates in Lake Forest in Chicago.
That's a chance I'm going to have to take, Preston.
You mean to tell me that you're willing to risk all of that on the remote possibility that you can save the marriage with Courtney?
Preston, I happen to love your daughter. And if there were a chance in a million that airing my personal problems in public would win her back, well, that's just a fraction of what I'm willing to do.
That's just about everything, isn't it?
Smells wonderful. I can't wait to dive into that hamburger upside-down pie.
Oh, we gotta be sure and save some for Peter. Hold right on, and I'm just gonna put this coffee pot on. Go.
Now, this is what I call a wonderful meal.
Beats going to a restaurant, doesn't it?
Only about a million times better.
Would you say the grace?
Oh, sure. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together, and for the joy and warmth of good friends, and for this food. And Lord, we ask you to guide Ben into making the right decisions concerning his career. And for us too, help and guide us into making the right decision.
Yes, Father.
Amen.
Amen.